The reality you are in right now is a direct reflection of your frequency. You could say it's a direct reflection of your vibration, how you are thinking, feeling, and acting. And if you can imagine the reality where you are living your dream life, whether that means you are doing what you love for a living, whether you're in an amazing relationship, or you have a certain family dynamic, or a certain type of health or body image, that reality already exists, and all you have to do is tune to it. Sort of like a radio. Think of a radio. A radio is picking up on different frequencies that are already around. So this is about vibrational tuning, and there is a formula that I have used in my own life for shifting the frequency of my body to the dream reality that I'm in right now, and that has to do with understanding what I'm going to share with you in this video. So this is a step-by-step formula that I believe will change your life forever. If you start applying it into your life, it can be very quickly, things can shift as well when you start applying it, because we get in life a reflection of who we are being, and once you start being that ideal frequency of you, everything begins to change. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I wanted to share with you a very simple step-by-step process for you to shift your frequency from what you're living right now. Now understand that right now you are living in a reality that is equal to how you think, how you act, and also how you feel. Your reality is a direct reflection of this. Sometimes people say, well, I don't know what my self-image is, because I talk about how, like, when you change your self-image, everything changes. When I was working that 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, I started to see myself as a top salesperson. Within days, I was consistently a top salesperson as I was being that version of me. And then when I was working at Barney's New York and women's shoes in Las Vegas, selling women's shoes for 5 years, what I eventually did is I started to see myself as a full-time YouTuber, and I started to be it. And then within months, my whole entire reality shifted. Now, one of the biggest keys to this is understanding that if you look around right now, you can see how you are thinking, feeling, and acting. What do you believe about yourself? If you're working a 9-to-5 job you hate, then you believe that's what you deserve and that's who you are. That's how you have to be. If you are in an unhappy relationship, or you are single and having a lot of love blocks, then it's because you believe that that's what you're worthy of, or you believe that that is your reality. You are being that version of you that is having those patterns, that is keeping you locked in that frame. And what this really is about is creating a shift. You want to create a shift in reality from this life, this way of thinking, feeling, and acting, to the version of you that's being the ideal version of you, that is doing what you love. And really, the key to this is understanding SHIFT, shift. Now, let's go over this, because this is the framework. This is what will really transform your life, is applying this and understanding it in different levels. Now, S stands for story. Story is your beliefs, your meaning. Who do you believe you are? The story that I told myself when I worked the 9-to-5 job was that I have to work this job. Someone has to tell me what to do for me to feel safe, or that was a subconscious thing at least. But S stands for story. And any block in your life or anything that you feel resistance to in your life is because of some type of story, some type of belief. The story we tell ourselves about who we are, and the story we tell ourselves about who we and what we deserve. So 90% of all transformation, by the way, is just becoming aware of it. Is becoming aware. Awareness is 90% of all transformation. So when I was, and meaning as well, meaning, story, belief, these are all one of the most important parts of this. You know, when I had the painful past, and that was really weighing down on me, and I was taking Adderall and drinking and smoking in order to numb that back in 2012, it was because not having a childhood and all that, that was because the meaning I was given to my past was that I was unworthy. It shouldn't have happened. I didn't really have much of a childhood, and all these stories, or that meaning I gave to it was weighing me down. Then what happened is I changed the meaning. I realized that that led me to my spiritual awakening. It transformed the meaning, and then it allowed me to completely shift. And within a very short period of time, my whole entire reality shifted. When I became aware that I was feeling safe in my 9-to-5 job, and I saw myself as kind of like locked in it, I thought I didn't have a choice because I had to pay the bills and I had all these rationalizations. Became aware of that. I then started to shift and just become the version of me that was doing what I love. So S is story, belief. If you believe that you aren't worthy of love, then you will either attract people who can't actually love you or in a deep way, or you'll find that you have blocks and you just don't attract that at all. What do you believe? What is your story about who you are? And we are meaning generating souls. We generate meaning. Everything in life has no meaning, no built-in meaning other than the meaning we give it. So my past had a certain meaning on me that weighed me down. I changed that and everything changed. So that's the first part of this process. And 90% is just awareness, because once you see it as this autopilot thing, you can then choose something new. I was trying to do the meow thing for the now, but it's a different word and it didn't work. Now, H is heal. Heal is an important part of the process. Think of SH as like the old identity. You're healing it, you're feeling it, you're becoming aware of it, so you can shift to the new frequency, which is F. We'll get to that in a minute. So heal. Healing is feeling inside of your body. Healing is feeling, and the feeling is the healing, and the healing is the feeling. A lot of times there's processed emotions from our past that we didn't actually feel, and because we didn't feel it, it remains inside the body. The body keeps the score. There's a book on that. But there's breath work. There's different transformational processes we can use, permission slips towards feeling and healing. And there is a meditation that I have on YouTube that is the completing the past meditation, because when you complete the past, you do not have to repeat the past. But when I started to feel inside of my body, very quickly I was able to, I was numbing myself by drinking and smoking. And when I started doing this, I didn't need to do any of that stuff anymore. I started feeling completely different about myself. And the funny thing is that H and feeling and healing, H is healing and feeling, and S is the story and the belief. Belief generates the feeling. And then when you feel it, you cannot have anything. Like a rainy day, how do you feel about a rainy day? Well, it depends on the meaning you give it. If you lose your job, it depends on the meaning you give to you losing your job to how you feel about it. Some people lose their job and be ecstatic and excited. How? Well, because they'd give it a meaning like, maybe I'm going to go after my passion now. Maybe I feel a big release, There's different meanings we give to different things. So H is the healing and the feeling of the aspect. There's also Ho'oponopono is another powerful process for this. But then we have I. I is identity and becoming aware of how we see ourselves, because one of the strongest human desires there is to remain consistent to the way that we define ourselves. So how do you see yourself? When I was working a 9-to-5 job, I saw myself as working a 9-to-5 job, and that's all that I'm worthy of. Then though, I saw myself as a YouTuber. And now I'm letting go of just even the YouTuber mentality, and I'm seeing myself as like somebody that facilitates seminars or like live events. So I'm shifting my identity, how I see myself. Now, this is about realizing that your reality is equal to the identity of how you see yourself in general. Now, another part of this I as well is integration. Integration is where you're integrating into your body and understanding the difference between yourself and other. This means going into your body and feeling in your own frame. Many people that are empaths feel everyone else's emotion, and what they do is they don't know what their sense of self is. They haven't gone inside their own body. And for transformation and for being on my ideal reality and my dream reality, I had to bring my energy back into my own body. This also helps with masculine and feminine polarity. This helps with healing also. The H helps with healing. But integration of the self. There's either in our reality the self and other. And if we've been through trauma as a kid, many times we kind of like escape being majority in our body and we feel everyone else. But one of the biggest transformations I've made is going more inside of my body and feeling in my own frame. And as I'm in my own frame, it's easier for me to lead. Now, F is frequency. This is what we're talking about, the frequency. Now, frequency is that of imagining the vibration of you that is living your dream life. How you think, feel, and act. Knowing as well that that version of you, it is natural for you to be living in that reality. It's not on a pedestal. It's not this amazing thing that if it happened, you'd feel so good. It's natural. I travel the world. I do what I love. I just got this beautiful house in Austin, Texas, and have the ability to move when I want. It's really cool, but it's natural. It's not like, oh my God, that'd be super amazing. It's natural. And the key to this is being aware that it will be natural by the time you manifest your desires. So you don't put it on a pedestal. But what you want to do for this is you want to become aware of your values for that version of you. You want to start living by those values now. For me to shift to that ideal frequency of my dream reality, I had to imagine what my values would be. Now, a value is kind of like a virtue that you live by. It is a virtue. Now, before, I used to live by certain virtues that I wasn't really aware of. One of them was significance. Tony Robbins talks a lot about this. I really wanted to feel significant. If I could just make enough videos and add enough value, then people would see value in me versus knowing that I have value for just being me. And what happens is then that was causing me to not be as much in alignment, but also to me to chase the wrong things, chasing the YouTube plaque reward and all that, which isn't necessarily inherently bad, but it was the energy it was coming from for me wasn't as pure, I guess. Now, what are the values of the version of you, the frequency of the version of you that are living your dream life? Now, I used to have that 9-to-5 job. I did not really value hard work or putting energy into that dream reality. Now, you must be it to then get that reality. Be it, which means you become it. I was making videos every single day on YouTube for a year. I committed to that, and my whole entire life transformed because I was being that version of me. But that was a value of mine, is being consistent with my word. So integrity could be your value. Maybe it's that you take action. That's a value of yours. That you put in, that you have the courage to step into the new. That could be something. The courage to face your fears. It could be authenticity. You're going to be yourself. I had to start to go from like the nice guy people pleaser that I used to be to the version of me that I am now. I had to literally change my values because as the people pleaser, I really valued what other people thought of me, that significance. Now I value authenticity over caring what people think. And as I value authenticity more, that means sometimes I trigger people more, but guess what? It's more me. And I feel more authentic and clear. So what you want to do to become this version of you is you want to become aware of that version of you's values. And you want to start living by them right now. When you start living by them, then your outer reality begins to change. I simply decided, you take on the identity because you choose to. You realize the way reality works is be, do, have. Or be, have, do, however you want to say it. But we think that you must first do something, then you can have something, to then be something. The way reality works is you must first be it, and then you will naturally do. Your actions will align with that version of you and what you do, and then you can have what that version of you has. It's not like you're an artist, you need to create art for 10 years, then have your own art gallery studio, then you're an artist. From day one, you're an artist. I started being a YouTuber and I started carrying myself as if I was a YouTuber. You give yourself permission to be it. And that's where T comes in. So S-H-I-F-T, T is transformation. You give yourself permission to just be it. And the key to this is the consistency of knowing that as you are being it, eventually your reality will completely change as a reflection. This is the key. And knowing as well, there's scientific studies on this. I share this all the time so you know how quickly you can shift. People with multiple personality disorders, what they have done is they've done these tests to show that when one person has 3 different personalities or more, let's say they're Jim in one personality, they shift to Carl. When they're Jim, let's say they're healthy, let's say they have certain foods they like, let's say they even have a certain eye color. When they shift to Carl, what happens is within 2 to 3 minutes of them shifting, or immediately, you could test their body. Carl does not have cancer. 2 minutes later, Carl has cancer. And then Carl shifts back and he does it again. Why is that? Because this reality that we're living in right now is a form of virtual reality. Every single one of us are an eternal spiritual being that is dreaming right now that we are these little avatars. We've come across from different life experiences where we have these different things that have happened to us and we've made snap judgments about who we are and what we are capable of. We forget how flexible and dynamic our reality is if we're willing to let go of the old version of us and create a shift. Create a shift in reality, a shift in being. And as we are being the ideal versions of us, our outer reality eventually begins to change, but we have to commit to it. And we have to commit to it because it's who we are. It's a part of our identity, not for what it'll give us. Doing things because they're an end of itself. I made daily videos on YouTube, not because I wanted to, it's a side effect that I was able to escape my job and not do the 9-to-5 job anymore. And that did motivate me. But I was doing it because, you know what? This is who I choose to be. Your identity and who you are being shifts, your reality shifts. But the story that you tell yourself about who you are and how you have to always be this old version of you and everyone else sees you this way, you don't have to be that version of you. You can make a shift and a transformation immediately, as fast as somebody does it and can change whether they have cancer in their body or not, unconsciously because they have multiple personality disorder. That shows you how fluid reality is. Reality is what we believe it to be, and we can transform and shift at any moment by making the choice and being that version of us. Now, I do have a meditation, by the way, that is for this exact thing. It's raising your dominant vibration permanently. It's going through a process like this for shifting reality. It's a completely free meditation. You can download it by clicking the link below. And let me know if you want me to make more videos on shift. I think that what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be doing live events on the shift experience, which is us going through this process in a group together to shift to our ideal realities and also shift our level of consciousness. If that's something that you're interested in, can you comment below? Let me know right now if that's something you're interested in. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, peace, much love, and namaste.